Well, good morning, everyone. This is Dan O'Sullivan with your Bucks Island Area Fishing Report for Saturday, April the 9th, presented by Mercury. We're going to check in with Tom Ott on Lake Guntersville. We got Josh Herron to tell us all about Logan Martin and Lay Lake. And then I'm going to talk to Lee Pitts and find out why I was so bad in the city tournament at Coosa Landing on Saturday, see what I missed. Anyway, we'll be right back with what the guys have to say. Well, good morning, everyone. This is Dan O'Sullivan with your Bucks Island Area Fishing Report for Saturday, April the 9th, presented by Mercury. Let's talk to Lee Pitts about how you might be able to put a few fish in your boat on Weiss Lake and Neely Henry.
Mother Nature just keeps on throwing some curveballs at us. It's just one of those deals. We've dealt with some mud coming in, some high winds, and a little cooler temperature now. So, I'd like to say that it's just normal spring for us, but yeah, a lot of these fish, especially at Neely, after the tournament last week, I'll talk about the bass fishing first. You can look at the weights on the tournament last weekend, and these fish aren't worried about the weather. I mean, for Neely Henry, man, they showed out this last week. A lot of big largemouths and a lot of big spots were caught. 20 pounds and had several 18, 19, 17s. I mean, Neely right now, as the fish are really, really doing. I talked to a lot of guys. They caught fish shallow with the largemouth back in the pockets, some grass fish. A lot of guys flipping not only jigs, but some creature baits, and also chatterbait. That and still that squarebill, man. The last month, the squarebill has been hot at Neely.
Yeah, I know. I fished that tournament and I struggled a little bit, but I found out I didn't go shallow enough. So if you're in 2 foot of water right now, you may not be shallow enough. I hear the spots are biting on some of the bluff walls too. That can be a lot of fun. I saw some crappie fishermen out there pulling in the creeks, so I know that's going on down there. Weiss Lake, what's going on with the crappie there?
Well, our crappie is kind of crazy right now with some of the days this week when we had some fairly stable weather and the sun popped up late in the afternoon. Those fish pulled up in that 4, 5, 6 foot of water. But right now, what we're doing main day is still out in the deep, the major bays, your Yellow Creek, Bay Springs, some of the lower end of the lake. These fish are still deep. And still, I'm pulling double 16ths. If I go to a single, I'm having to put a split shot, a BB, or a little bigger on that thing to get it down. But these fish are ready. I mean, the fish we're catching, they got big bellies on them, still schooling up. So they're waiting. They're just waiting for this weather to break on us. I think this cooler weather is going to hold them back just a little bit. But, right now we've kind of got those fish pinpointed. And when you can find them and see them on your, I can find them on my hummingbirds and get set up on them, you can catch these fish. Everybody's catching fish. It's just not one or two. We're catching a lot of fish.
Well, I know the bass bite can be about the same as it was at Neely Henry up there. Shallow, in the dirt, with a little bit of grass. Swim jigs and spinnerbaits, chatterbaits, square bills. Hey, Lee, man, we appreciate it. And we will talk to you again next week. Well, good morning, everyone. This is Dan O'Sullivan with your Bucks Island Area Fishing Report for Saturday, April the 9th, presented by Mercury. Tom, what's going on the Big Lake?
Mother Nature just needs to take a break on us. She's just throwing us curve after curve. But I tell you, Guntersville's just a really freaky deal right now. I would still rank the fishing very good. I would say probably an 8 out of 10. The one thing we're missing right now are a lot of big fish, and that just bodes for the future of the lake right now. I mean, we're seeing a lot of 3 and 4 pound class fish. The tournament weights are a little low. 20 pounds, which should be an average bag on Guntersville is winning tournaments right now. So, you've got some 3s and 4s and one big fish. But, I don't know how much of that's attributed to the weather. There's a lot of eelgrass floating out there that causes, they can throw some mental challenges to a fisherman, especially if that's your primary area and it's covered over. But, overall the fishing's been really good. TVA dropped the bottom out of it a couple of weeks ago, and we've seen some slow rises in the water, getting some stability to it, but it's still just really not where we want to have it. But, the fish are still moving shallow. I heard Lee say that, the weather's not hurting the fish, and it really doesn't seem to be, but, a lot of fish have come and gone. And we're starting to get, we're ready for this next wave of spawners to come in. But, the bluegill, the crappie are spawning. We saw a lot of crappie up shallow last weekend. The bluegill will be there just at any time. So, I mean, things are really happening. I mean, it's not slowing down the fish.
Well, it seems this time of the year with the big bites, there's been typically a visual type thing with a Alabama rig or a swim bait or something like that. And the water clarity's got to have something to do with not being able to get those bites going, correct?
Absolutely. For a swim bait bite, I mean, I like clear water, but I also like to have some wind. We've had some flat days. We've had a lot of wind and a lot of rain. It just, we haven't had that perfect storm yet. Any kind of plastic, your creature baits have been really working well shallow. Swimming a jig, throwing stick baits, those kind of things have worked really well. And that bite, I think, will just get better as we get some more stable weather. It's just been, we're seeing temperature fluctuations in the shallow waters, and then just the depth has really changed. So, but things are coming along. I mean, I don't want to be gloom and doom. It's been a good season, but it's going to get better.
Well, and don't forget, you can get on that merry-go-round of crappie fishermen in all those culverts and under those bridges. Tom, thanks for everything. We appreciate it, and we'll talk to you again next week. Well, good morning, everyone. This is Dan O'Sullivan with your Bucks Island Area Fishing Report for Saturday, April the 9th, presented by Mercury. Time for us to connect with our newest Bass Cat Mercury Pro staffer, Josh Herron. Josh has been upside down in that Bass Cat putting that thing together. I know he's getting out there ready to itch and strike that Mercury on fire. Josh, what's happening on Logan Martin and Lay Lake?
Man, we're working on whitewater rafting conditions. This river's not going to slow down. I think we got 25,000 feet going over the gates right now, 30-something thousand going through the dam. So it's not a good day to paddle upstream. But, man, spring's here, dude. I mean, these fish, given a little break, they're getting ready to, listen to R. Kelly and chase fat girls. So it's turning out to be fun. There's spotted bass are already doing it. I know they had the midweek yesterday at Lay, and, man, 18, 19 with some really pretty largemouth weighed in. So it's not in the 20s, but it's a whole lot better than 12.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of guys are still spending time in some of those current breaks out there, especially at Logan Martin when we were there a week or two ago. Is that still what's happening, or are they really starting to make that move into the backs?
Man, Logan, the fish on the bottom end will do it with the water down traditionally. But your fish from, call it Stemley Bridge up, those fish are really conditioned. I think it's just through years and years of spawn cycles, and it's kind of bred into them. They don't really make that really hard move until the water comes up. But so fish on the bottom end, you can actually go sight fish a little bit if you can find somewhere clear enough to do it right now. Spotted bass are still going to be hanging around a lot of those breaks, gravel bars, little chunk rock seams, stuff like that. But fish at Lay, man, they're getting ready. Like your first wave you'll see will be kind of on those outside grass lines, or they'll be all the way in the back. It doesn't really seem to have an in between.
So what is the overall? Is it going to be still moving baits, or are you going to want to be able to start flipping and maybe putting a jig around some of those docks too?
Dude, I like wacky rig this time of year. It's really dumb. It's really easy, but it also gets bit a lot, and you catch some really good fish doing it. These fish, before they spawn, they kind of get in this weird finicky phase where they don't like a lot of really hard moving, wiggling stuff. It's almost like less is more. So that's kind of the deal, man. You just pick out these gravel bars, like I said, or any of these outside grass lines. Play with a wacky rig, play with a Senko. A floating worm, something that was really cool. It's kind of old school. You can do this time of year and catch some really big fish doing it.
Well, Josh, as always, man, we appreciate everything. Get that boat rigged. We want to hear how it does, and we'll talk to you again soon. Well, that'll do it for our Bucks Island Area Fishing Report for Saturday, April the 9th, presented by Mercury. Thanks to Josh, Tom, and Lee for all their expertise and sharing. We appreciate everything that they do to help this fishing report and help you put a few more fish in the boat. And don't forget, folks, anything you need, we can help you with at Bucks Island, whether it's in the loft, in the service department, at parts, or if you want to be able to take a look at that boat that's going to be able to put you on the water all summer, talk to Katie, Melissa, and Patrick, and we're here to help. We appreciate everything. Thank you for being the best part of Bucks Island, and we will talk to you again next week.